There was a moment during site construction back in 2021 when the big excavators were installing one of the wall systems, and I noticed a band of river rocks really high on our property, and it struck me, wow, what the river is truly capable of. Wrongway is an urban cabin campground. We have 16 A-frame cabins that sit in the French Broad River corridor, and we serve as a base camp to Asheville and a gateway to the urban outdoors. So Wrongway was built to flood. All of our structures sit 2 feet above what's called base flood elevation. So as you drive down Amboy Road, you'll notice that the cabins sit way up high in the air, one as high as 16 feet. Did I think it would flood at some point? Yeah, absolutely. And we had a joke that if it flooded, we'd be riverfront. But I mean, no one can imagine a storm of that magnitude. The French Broad River reached 24.6 feet. And just for context, a flood is declared on this section of the French Broad River when it's over 9 feet. So it gives you kind of a perspective of how high it really was. As the flood receded, we had no running water, no electricity, and no cell service, so no way to communicate. But we were left with our community, and there was a real moment of kind of the beauty of humanity where everyone banded together. And in a lot of ways, that's just kind of the mountain culture of people taking care of each other. Joe and I hosted a handful of cookouts in the meadow with our neighbors and our friends. Once we kind of had our property stabilized, we started reaching out into the community to figure out the best way to plug in and help. And so we grabbed our friends from the Chop Shop Butchery and a bigger group of friends, and we went to the local elementary school and we hosted a mega barbecue dinner, right? And there was bluegrass music, and it was just a heartwarming moment where people got to share a meal together and kind of share the daily hardship that they had gone through. And it was just one of the most beautiful moments of community during the whole storm. And I was proud of that moment because I felt like we did it in true Wrongway fashion. We started remediation within 48 hours of the flood. And by November 1st, we had started accepting bookings again. And by December 31st, all 16 cabins in the River Lodge were fully operational. I see Wrongway after the flood almost as a river gauge. I mean, the cabins sit almost 16 feet off the ground, and it is unfathomable that the water would get even close to that high. And so whether you're driving down Amboy Road or you're pulling in to park underneath one of our cabins, there's a moment of reverence to acknowledge just how high that flood was, and that's part of our river history. I feel like our mission now is more important than ever. I mean, we want to connect people to the transformational qualities of the outdoors and reconnect people with this river, right? I mean, it was high and it was a beast, but at this point, rivers are self-cleaning organisms. It's beautiful, clear, and it's the same, recreational resource that we've shared for the past 2 years. We put in a lot of work, and we want to invite everyone back, and we want to invite you all to be a part of Asheville's comeback.